Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You are watching some of Greensdale series with me as I continue to expand on the city and supplying the needs of the people. Um, just as you continue to grow, the people just they need things, and you gotta maintain that happiness level of happiness while also expanding on the city. And as you keep growing, the more things you need, and it's all in the details. So in this episode, we're gonna kind of grow more in Greensdale, kind of expand the areas of industrial, more residential, so we can get the population growing, and also kind of restructuring the city to better fit the needs of the people. I do want to start off by saying that as we continue on with the series, and as we start getting more into detail with either healthcare, I know you saw me put um, a healthcare provider. Sorry, I'm thinking about work right now. Like a service, a little ER place right there in the middle. As we continue to start doing that and providing services to the residents of Greensdale, I will be getting more and more into detail about how I see things and my own political view and ideas. Not personally, just mine. I'm not very. I don't. I'm more of a centrist when it comes to political views. So that's why I'm very open to ideas, and um, I'm not exactly like a one. I don't consider myself very political, but I do have my own opinion, and I do want to express that in this video as my opinions go. And then if you have any comments or want to have any questions on how I see things, you're more than welcome to just post a comment and ask away. And obviously that comes when that goes down, and I'll break it down even more when I get to the budgeting and the adding taxes to the citizens. I really haven't done that and haven't really messed with it as of yet, and I don't think I will in this episode. But if I do, I'll obviously expand on my thoughts and bring my own opinion to the table. And if you guys want to talk about it, you're welcome, like I said. But right now, I think mostly this episode is about expanding. You see me build a road here, and I'm really just focusing on placing. I want to have the epicenter of the city, of this square that we start off with, as that being the skyline, obviously downtown. That will be downtown. I want to keep the design of a small city, as like I mentioned in the previous video, as when you drive past a town, there's always that main road, and you go in front of is the primary road, and then it goes from like 75 to 45, 35, and it goes back to 75. I kind of want to start off like that and see where it goes from there. Obviously, I do have a little lake that's nearby, and I will be kind of building towards that. I want to use that to kind of, have my own image on how I see, people living. Like, I don't know. I want to say I want to build Malibu there. Okay, let me just say that. But this video is kind of be getting. It's not just expanding, but also providing to the needs of the people, trying to keep my residents happy, which is going to be kind of difficult with the limited resources that I have. As I keep going, I don't want to spoil it, but I think I do end up taking a loan from the government to kind of finish off my needs, because as you can see here, roads, I need money to build roads. I need money to lay down pipe, and people might not see that. But that takes money and resources that people. And as you see here, I end up kind of building this road here, and then the money goes down, and that kind of limits my resources to buy the police station. I did kind of want to get in this episode. I did kind of want to get into building a municipal area where I have like city hall. I'm starting to grow as a city. I'm Worthy Village, and I do kind of want to build city hall somewhere in this area. I was really hoping right here, as you see here, the fire department. I kind of want to have that, the police department, and stuff like that. that you see in an actual city. Kind of basing that off in the city that I grew up in, went to high school in. I did move around, so I did get to kind of see different towns and cities, and I live in a metro city. It's a metroplex, so I do live in the metroplex. So there are various cities nearby that I kind of draw inspiration from as I build my own city. So it's not just from scratch, and I'm not just. I do have interest in architecture and industrial, and it's not industrial. Oof, I'm going blank here, but let's just go with industrial shaping. Infrastructures. There it is. Infrastructure design. So and urban studies, and I kind of want to get into all that and like how to shape a city and how sociology and all that stuff that goes into play as I do play this game. So I kind of want to break it down to you guys as I watched this video with you guys and kind of explain the brain, the thought process as I do build a city. So like building the fire department, I do kind of want to keep it in this side of the map where there are more trees and there's likely to be fires. So I kind of want to make sure I have it on that side of the map, but also like like very little resources, so I can't really expand on laying down the fire department and police department, and as you can see here, I've a growing need for residents. So, and as I get more residents, I level up and I get more money, and that's kind of my main focus right now. And I know I sound like a politician, just doing anything for money and not caring for the needs of the people. But that kind of brings me back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video, is that I kind of want to, I don't see myself as a politician. Obviously, this is a game, but I do that kind of does bring me into the mind of a politician, how that works when it goes to a city. So as I continue to expand and reshape the city of Greensdale, you'll see that I will mostly need to focus on money management, which I do very poorly in this episode. I get sidetracked with how designing and how I want the city to look, rather than continue to pay attention to my residents' need, which I think is very important. I try to keep that in mind, but as I do that, I end up trying to make the city look a certain way, and I lose track of the things that are important in a map, in a city. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of maps. In a city. So excuse me, as you can see, some of you might be looking at this, be getting frustrated. I don't know if you played the game before, but you might be getting frustrated of why don't you do certain things. I know you don't like certain services that are essential to a city, but I lose track, or I get sidetracked really. As you see here, as I do expand on here, I do end up needing money because roads cost money. I think I said that before. The more you lay down, the more money you need, and it's more expensive, especially if I want to do like residential. The value, or like the residents end up being more happy if I if I lay down the road. Sorry, got distracted with word. If I lay down a road that has sidewalks, because that means they get to exercise and jog, and the residents the residents do a good job of telling you what they need by either the icons that shine on top of their houses, like you see here, they need water and I need funds, or they'll have like Twitter updates that kind of pop up in the middle of the screen. So it's just keeping an eye out on that, and listening to the people is one of the things that I would appreciate in a politician. But I also see how I can be sidetracked by either focusing all their attention on building one side of the town and just completely ignoring the other side of the town. But as the city grows, you kind of see, what needs to be done. So if I start focusing on this area, I lose the resources to kind of build a police department, which I think you see the icon flashing in the back, so I need a police department. But since I've laid down some roads, because I need, well, not at this moment, but I did need some residents. So as I lay down these roads, I end up losing some of that money. And as you see here, I need to lay down some pipe, which also costs money. But I do have the profit. I think is about what, 2,000. I really can't see from here. So it does take time, and I also want to focus on this congestion building up here. Another thing that I do want to point out that is very important to the city is, as you can see, the congestion, the traffic there is really bad. So I really should fix some of it. I don't like how that road on the right hand side is just a one, and then there's two on the left. It kind of makes it look like I don't know, very bad, and it also ends up bringing a lot of traffic to that area. So hopefully in the next video I will be doing something about it. But also I do need to focus. I need to focus on my attention on the residents. As you see here, is very difficult for me to place a police department because of the lack of funds. So I do need to focus more on that, and not, as I expand, keeping all my residents happy. I am now a tiny town. I do want to maintain the happiness of my residents. While I'm in the topic of police departments and needing departments in the city, you really don't think about how the city goes from becoming like. You really think that the start of a city obviously comes with like a Dollar General, a post office, and like a sheriff's department. When you think of like town starting off, well, that's how I see things. But I started off with healthcare, and I do get sidetracked in this moment with parks. I am a big parks person, and I not just see the city as a person that's creating it, but also as how I would enjoy a city if I did live in a city like this. So, excuse me while I play some parks here and there to kind of keep it happy. As you see the legend here, blue. You got to try and maintain them in the blue by placing parks here and there, and not just that not only brings their happiness up, but it also does provide land value. So if you're trying to level up a city, which we're not there yet, but if you do want to level up some of your buildings, then you will need some of these parks and leisure. They call it leisure, but and I do have to move these. You do have to have some of those leisures around for those buildings to level up. And another thing you got to keep in mind is that the noise pollution, as you can see at the bottom of the water tower, some headphones there, and then the little yellow circle around, which is the radius of the noise pollution. I do have to pause to match the match. Excuse me, I'm on Battlefield. I do end up having to pause the game while I do place these here. And it's very difficult. I don't think it's my OCD, but I really just want to have these straight ahead, like either pointing to one, and I can't, so it has to be like either or, and I wanted to place the pipe in between. So it's really hard for me as a person that wants to have things very symmetrical, because it really bothers me. But I also do like to shape things in a way where it's kind of like free form, and you have that liberty to just do your art, pretty much by placing roads. As you can see, I do have some of them turning here and there, which kind of shapes, bring some shades, bring some seasoning, to a town or a city. And it does. I mean, I didn't notice this, but I didn't connect the pipes all the way, which leads to this. And for a second there, I thought that I needed to provide more funding to the water department. Ooh, Jesus. To the water department, excuse me. But it's just one of those things that if you're a person that's in like that does coding, it's like missing an apostrophe somewhere. It's kind of like, okay, what's going on? Did I miss something here? And it's just an apostrophe. It's the lack of pipe. But I do want to focus on providing more to my residents by also keeping the profit margin where I keep getting money, because like I said, as I build more, I need more funds. And in order for me to keep the funds that I have, in order for me to keep building instead of having to wait for either to level up or to ask for a loan, which I do end up doing. I think I already said that, but I do, instead of having to get a loan, I do want to stretch out the best that I can with what I have, So it's very satisfying seeing whenever your residents need something, and then like all of them ask for something, and then it just all goes away. It's very satisfying. I do it for the love of the game, I do end up. Sometimes I just leave it for a little bit just so I can see it all go away. It's kind of like seeing those dominoes fall that you place them one by one and then they all come up. It's like, all right. Very satisfying. But back into what I need to do is placing trees, which, as you can see here, it says the cost is 0, but the more I place down, it does cost like $10. I didn't see it add up. But the reason I'm doing this is because the trees kind of keep the noise pollution from the windpipes down. And I also kind of want to have this area as a little forest. I didn't like how the injustice of the left side of the park, the left side of the city having trees and like a forest area, and the right side have nothing. So and that's kind of what I want to get into about me speaking my political mind into this. I kind of look at both sides and kind of want to see what the fair, what's fair for both sides, and kind of play a devil's advocate here and there. So you guys will obviously be seeing some of this as I get into Greensdale. But as of right now, there's really no need. I could talk about police funding, but I really only have one police department, and I don't think. There's really no race. I think the main thing when it comes to police, it's the race thing, like which to me I feel like it comes down to it really is all about race. I feel like if you're down south. I do live south, so I do experience some of these things. So I do talk from experience. And I do talk with what I see in my surroundings. I do speak with this to my coworkers and some of my friends. We do have conversation about this. So I gather all that data and provide it to you. But when it comes down to police, I do feel the main thing is it's race. Like certain races are, and I feel like the minority it does get treated differently than, let's say, than one race. I don't want to point out, you can kind of figure out what I'm trying to get at with this, but it's just but what I think it really is that there's a certain level of knowledge when it comes down to a race that you are. So if there's more minorities in the police department, which I think that wouldn't make them a minority if they're in the police department, because that would just mean that they aren't a minority. So let's just say people of color. So if there's people of color in the police department, I feel like they have a better understanding of their race, or like they're people of color. So like, civilians, they can kind of understand where they're getting from, where they're coming from, and kind of have a baseline of not trust but understanding of one another, rather than let's say a white cop who's always been around white people. He would probably misunderstand and misinterpret a person of color who obviously he hasn't been around. So there's a miscommunication and a misunderstanding right off the bat. So I think that's the main issue, is that as a police department or police officer, you have to have that that diversity in order to function and not. I think that's where it all boils down. But I do support police officers. I mean, I do think they're pigs, but I mean that's really anything. I mean, I can talk about politicians being pigs. I just feel like people are corrupt, not a certain. What's that word? Like profession. I just don't think it's a specific profession. I just feel like people in general are pigs, but when you come down to that, being a police officer, then I believe that you should be held or have a sense of morality or respect, integrity, you know. So I think here where I'm at, in order to become a police officer, I think you only need like a high school diploma or like a certain amount of hours in a college. But I feel like more educated people have worked better in that profession. So obviously, I do believe that in order to become a police officer, it's not just about wanting to be a police officer, but also having a knowledge or having a degree in criminal justice and urban studies, and knowing about the diversity of your city specifically, and not just of like, I come from a certain background, I want to fight crime, shoot at bad people, because I do believe that most of the time you really just are patrolling and observing when it comes down to police work. You're not really shooting down bad guys. It's not like there's not that many bank robberies. So I really do believe that if you do want to become a police officer, you should really have a degree of some kind, focusing on criminal justice, and not just that, but like urban studies of like knowing your city, of knowing what goes down in a city, and not just like in your city, but like in general. That way you can kind of get a better picture of how people work and how a city works, because obviously if you're defending a city, then you need to know how it operates. But for the meantime, since this is still kind of a small city, I will just be keeping the budget very low, which you will see me fix this in the next episode. I kind of don't get into the budget here because I'm playing the game of catch up when it comes to the city. I mean, look at how many wind turbines I've set up, and I still have, I'm barely reaching the green line there. You want to have it to where it's like fully loaded. I think you can see my my water. See, I have it all the way, like my electricity is all the way up, and I have so many wind turbines. But I do kind of want to have it to where I continue to have profit in order to provide these services to my cities, to my residents. But it's very tough. I can try and bring the budget down, but at the end of the day, I will just need to continue to lay down some water treatment. As you can see, my water is kind of fine. I just need to connect and build some pipes here, buddy. But as you see, the water, it's all the way on green, and the electricity it's coming now to red. So I do get sidetracked in maintaining the basic needs of my people. I'm trying to see where I was going with this. Sorry, I got distracted. But as you see, I have wind turbines here and there. Like I end up, I'm probably gonna have that area, that whole side, filled with wind turbines. And here I do end up taking that loan, just because I don't have enough resources to buy that and maintain the energy that my people need. And I'll fix this. I got 20,000 and it's already gone just because of the wind. wind turbines I set down. But anyway, back to the reshaping and focusing more on Greensdale. I want to say Oasis, but I know that city's out. I did spend a lot of hours in that city, so that's why I keep trying to bring it up. Not forcefully, obviously. I mean, it just comes to my mind whenever I do play this game. It's like I'm thinking of Oasis. It was my pride and joy, and I built so many monuments, and I mean, I unlocked everything. It was a prospering city, and I want to do the same here in Greensdale. So I do kind of want to, as you see here at the middle of this, the epicenter of this square, I want to have it as a downtown, and I want to expand here, and it's really tough. I want to have like a roundabout. I don't know if you guys have been to like Mexico City or know about Mexico City, but there's a roundabout with the statue in the middle, and to me, and not just because I'm a Mexican, because I am born and raised in Mexico. Just want to point that out. I just want to bring that out to people, and so they can, you can kind of know a little bit about me. But I think it's a landmark in Mexico City, and to me, I think it's really great. I mean, they have traffic like crazy, and you could probably get a whole car wash while you're waiting traffic. But that's neither here nor there. I really enjoy the way it looks, so I kind of want to do that with this city. And like I said, when I do shape the city, I want to have it to where I do get these ideas from actual cities in the. It kind of helps me think about like actual real life cities and how they were built and how they're maintained by playing this game, and learning about these policies and taxes and budgeting and zoning and laying down the why certain things are there. Like it really makes you think and really helps you connect with the real world. So it's a connection between the real world and how well, it's not really you make your own connections pretty much. But I do want to bring that into the city, and eventually I'll reshape the entrance of it, or I could just buy the square behind it. Now that I'm thinking about it, and then just kind of have a welcoming sign to Greensdale. I'll see what I can do, but as of now, I also want to focus on this traffic here, which to me, I think traffic. I mean, to people like. I don't know if people who play this game think about traffic, but I think it's very important. And did you get that? Look at that. It's just one city because, like I just said, I do take real world experiences and bring it into this game, or or vice versa. I could just imagine being in that road. Like I would just I'd rather drive around it, because I just want to avoid that street, because I know like at a certain time it's gonna be insane sitting in traffic for about probably an hour, where it could just take you 20 minutes to get from one side of town to the next. So I do build this road here and kind of hopefully ease up some of that congestion. And with that, guys, I'm gonna leave you with the rest of this episode. Next episode, I'll be talking about budgeting and teaching and a little bit more of that. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Take care.